What's up, guys? I'm joined by these wonderful men here for another episode of Kart Talk. So, welcome again, Sammy D and Tabor. Thanks as always.
What's up, Studfit?
Hey, everybody.
And then we also have three of our Super Stud tier members, Frenzy Fans Guy, or Boy, Aussie Kart, and Jeeves. Frenzy Fan Boy, how do you want to be called? Start there.
Frenzy Fan Boy. We're good.
Frenzy Fan Boy. We like that. And then Aussie Kart, welcome.
Thanks for having me back, guys.
Coming from down under. And then Jeeves, welcome again. Our
Hey, guys.
most frequent guest. Awesome.
What's up, Jeeves?
Awesome. So we have a packed agenda, guys. We are smack dab in the middle of the anniversary tour, the tour that we've been speculating, the tour that we've been anticipating, and we're in it, and we're alive, and we've gotten some extra awards, so there's a lot to talk about. But before we jump into Mario Kart Tour, I thought we'd do a little icebreaker. What was the last TV series that you binged? Right now, I'll just kick us off. I'm going through this series called Squid Game. I'm not sure if you've seen it or heard about
Carlos mentioned that.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
It's literally about these crazy games where people are like almost like a Hunger Games style, but it's not recorded in English and then kind of dubbed over. But I find it fascinating. I'm loving it. What about you guys? Maybe we'll start with Sammy, Tabor, and then get the supers involved.
I'm trying to think. We bounce around from a lot of different things. But the one we're almost done with is called The White Lotus on HBO. Have you guys heard of it?
No.
It's good. It's just like, it's best not to know anything about it. It's one of those, and it's a group of different people who go to a Polynesian resort, and a lot of weird things start happening. And it's just like, it's crazy. I don't know how it's going to end, but good performances. And yeah, it's a good time. HBO's shows are always great. All their dramas and their comedy series as well.
Now, I will say, as I hear the name of that show, I'm looking back into my memory of, I'm trying to remember, I think it was a Tokyo tour last year where you were wearing some kind of Tokyo garb and you went to some Tokyo garden and were eating Tokyo snacks or something like that. That's what I'm imagining the whole show that you're talking about is
Not
all
quite,
about.
Yeah, it's more set in the Hawaii kind of vibe, but...
Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice. Tabor, what last TV show that you binged?
Right now, I'm binging a show called Only Murders in the Building. Basically, it's a Hulu thing with Steve Martin and Martin Short. It's just kind of a comedy, but mystery, suspense. Selena Gomez is in it too, so it's pretty fun.
Oh, Selena Gomez. There you go. That's worth it. Austin Kart, we'll go down under.
The wife and I actually just finished a couple of nights ago a Netflix series called Clickbait. So I don't know if you guys heard of that. Yeah,
that was really good.
Yes. So psychological thriller type
That's
series,
like Kart Talk.
miniseries. Sorry,
it's pretty much the same exact thing as Kart Talk. Yeah.
Clickbait.
Very similar. So I think it's basically if 5 million
Same
viewers, he
murders.
will die. So we need to get 5 million viewers on this, and then we'll probably kill off Jeeves. Maybe that'll be it. So if we get 5 million views, we're killing off Jeeves. So that's my choice. So that's my segue to you to tell us what you're binging at the moment,
Jeeves,
Jeeves.
take it. Hopefully you're watching something where you're defending yourself.
Kinda, actually. I don't watch a ton of TV, but the one that I religiously watch is Cobra Kai on Netflix. I was really into it when it was on YouTube for the first season. Now it's on Netflix, and I am dying for season 4.
I've heard really good things about it. I have not seen it myself.
It's so well done for like a rebirth of a classic 80s movie. It's very well done.
Very nice. I'll have to check that out. What about you, Frenzy Fanboy?
So Clickbait was one of the ones that we just finished up as well, but that's not our most recent. Our most recent was 9 Perfect Strangers.
Oh, yeah, I want to see that. Yeah, I want to see that, but I want my Hulu kicking in.
Yeah,
I've not heard that.
How is that?
another, like,
I was gonna
it's
watch, I was gonna start that.
Yeah, so it's a psychological thriller that just kind of takes you for a while, right? It has to do with like hallucinogenic therapy, I guess, if you were to sum it up into 2 words.
Very familiar with that.
Right?
You're probably doing that with your hamstring taper, I would imagine. Only way to work that out.
I had to go through that after my 10-pole last Kart Talk.
Yeah, literally, we go from pulling a hamstring to pulling a pipe. Yeah, that was great entertainment. Almost as good as me in a Bowser Santa costume.
Yeah. And by the way, we can't mention new TV shows without me shouting out our boy Guanlin Zhao for the new season of Survivor that premiered last week. I found out that I'm not only a Survivor super fan, but Guanlin Zhao is. And it's rare to find like a hardcore Survivor fan that knows. And so that was a cool thing we bonded over, as well as Brian Boyce, member of the community. So I just started that season. It's fun.
Very nice. I'm actually...
I thought you were to say Grant was on Survivor. How good would have that been? I thought you were going to tell me he was on the series.
Guanlin should go to Survivor, absolutely.
Yeah. We need to do a Mario Kart Survivor episode.
Yeah, that's a good idea where we vote each other out and have immunity and alliances. No, I watched the first, 12 seasons, even last year.
Oh, really? Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, cool.
I was really big into it. I never, signed up for it or anything like audition. But, in fact, last year during the pandemic, I went back to... Netflix brought one season back. I'm trying to remember what season it was. Watched the whole thing, just back to back to back.
Nice.
I love the show. I think a lot of that kind of has to do with our Mario Kart Tour experience, and I think you bring it up all the time.
I bring it up a lot, and I don't know if anyone follows what I'm saying, but there's some connections for sure.
Well, I think
season one Survivor. The winner was Rupert. If you're familiar with him.
No. I have to fact check you again. I have to fact check you again, Tabor.
No. There was a character with Rupert.
Richard Hatch.
Yep, Richard Hatch.
Okay, well, wherever Rupert was. Rupert won one season, didn't he?
Yes, the Thai guy.
He actually never won the show. He won the audience fan favorite $1 million award.
Okay. Well, anyway, fun fact. Before I lived here where I'm at, I lived in the city where Rupert's from, and he's from Indiana, and he had this after school rec room for the kids to come and hang out and play, and he came to our school and talked to the students. So it was pretty cool.
I think you told me that one of the first conversations we ever had. Maybe I feel
might have been.
Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. This was a great episode of Kart Talk, and we'll see you guys next week.
Well, I think it is interesting to talk about because we are at a turning point going into year 3 where, I think about a good example for a show that's out more recently that maybe people who aren't as elderly as we are is The Circle. I remember watched that. I have no problem, no shame in that. But season 2, they completely changed it around, and they had people that were catfishing other people or something. And then they had 2 people. So again, shows do this all the time. Where one season, and then they tweak something season 2, and then they tweak something season 3. They tweak things. So as we go into year 3, so that's going to be kind of be where we start for this. Was what are some of the tweaks for this year 3 of Mario Kart Tour? So I'll kind of start out with a question that I had is, what would be the most likely thing to happen between now and New Year's? Would it be level 8, player level 200, battle mode, multiplayer ranked, all cup ranking ranked, new ticket type, or something else out of left field? So maybe we'll start there. As we go into this year 3, what's the tweak that we're looking for? Whether you're thinking about Survivor or The Circle, whatever it might be, they're going to tweak something. They're going to throw something out left field. What's it going to be?
I hope it's not level 8.
Oh, yeah, me too. Yeah,
I just barely got so much stuff to level 7, and I'm enjoying the ticket shop now, for the first time ever. If they throw level 8, that's just going to be atrocious.
Yeah, I agree. I think everyone agrees. I'll reveal more about the survey results that I got when I put the survey out for everyone. Got about 563 responses, and I will say that was the lowest rated feature from the community of importance to the community. Level 8 being added anytime in the near future, by far the lowest ranking one. So yeah, I don't think anyone's looking forward to it. I mean, hopefully at least a year after level 7, right?
Well, I think that I was actually surprised how well the community bounced back after level 7. I thought it would take a year.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. But that doesn't mean... I mean, think about the tickets. Like, if it was... how much more are they going to jump up on tickets? Like, if we have to max normal data selects and it was 20, what is it going to go to 40? I mean, that... It will take twice as long, if so. You know what I mean? So...
Yeah.
We did adjust,
I think
but gosh.
whenever they introduce a new level, like when level 7 hit, I think it hit the whales the hardest, just because you guys knew that had that been implemented before, you guys had pulled so much, you would have already been there. So you had
I need a little whale violin. Hold on a second.
Listen, I don't feel bad for them at all. But I just know.
No, I was going to do something tonight, and to see if there was an occasion for it, and I need to make a sign. I want to have a whale problems sign, and it's just because I can just, whenever I want to, I can just hold it up as a, okay, the whale problems flag has been raised. I'll be working on this while you guys discuss.
Sorry, Sammy, that we're funding the game.
Yeah.
Right? Give us a break.
No, but I mean, some problems are. It's not. I'm just saying some problems are more whale problems.
Well, you do have 4 members of ER on this podcast, and so
I'm kind of surrounded by whales.
This is a good time to do that. Yeah, feel free to make your sign, and I think that'd be entertaining. For the rest of us, though, as we look forward to what could happen, level 8's obviously at the bottom of everyone's wish list. But I think if you had to put betting odds, again, I'm not promoting it. I've been surprised that even like Dolphins are maxing out daily selects right now. It would be nice if we would have gotten something for those items that we pulled to look to level 7, but I don't know. I still feel like having things like items in the game moving to level 8. I mean, I feel like at this point in time, it's much more likely than getting a player level 200. I don't think the player level 200 is coming anytime soon. I mean, Tabor, you can tell me if I'm wrong. I know you've been hyping up player level 200 for 6 months now.
I'm tired of talking about it because it's not going to happen. So it's just I mean, I think it will, but I'm just tired of anticipating each new tour it being revealed and whatever, because it's just disappointment after disappointment. I don't know. I think
is it really disappointing?
I think so. For me, I mean, it's not so much anymore since I'm not really grinding XP anymore. But it was for a long time because I just felt like I'm going to stay ahead of the game and I'm going to get a heads up on people. But to answer your question, I think the most likely thing that would come next, you said between now and New Year's?
Yes.
I think it's something that we're not even thinking of, honestly. I think it's something that no one's asking for, that no one's anticipating. It's just something that they're going to throw out. It's going to be a little bit different, and we're going to go with it. So I don't know if there's anything that we can predict other than the unpredictable.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
Tabor,
thanks
have you
for
done
not answering the question. Go ahead.
Yeah, that was my cop-out. That was a good way to do that.
I would actually like to see some just enhancements just on the overall gameplay in a way. I think one of the things that I was thinking about was, it doesn't have to do with like player level or level 8. And I'll even say for the record, I don't think it's ready for, as a whale, I don't think it's ready for level 8 yet. But in terms of enhancing the game, I think one of the things that I would like to see is, when someone drops a lightning and everyone drops their items, it'd be kind of fun if you can be able to pick up and use whatever that item is, even if it's a coin box. So let's say you're just driving by, there's a coin box on the track. You can hit it and use it. Little enhancements like that can make it more interesting, I think, and more fun.
It's kind of what they did with Sydney, right? Throwing those items on the track. You're saying like coin box or like a boomerang,
like a coin box, or usually like when you hit a shell, you crash. But like, let's say you pick it up and now you got an extra shell on you, and you can use it. Just little enhancements like that.
Or what about stealing them off of the back of like different drivers? So like you're tailgating someone. And you snag.
Yeah, I mean they do that with a mushroom. And,
the bots are already bad enough, man. We don't need them stealing our items.
I didn't think about that going that far. I was just thinking like we could steal theirs, but maybe if they stole ours, that would suck. Never mind.
Once a power is created, it can be used against you, and likely will. So that's a good point. Now, Sammy, you talked a little bit about, and I think I mentioned it last year too, is like, the anniversary, we are hyped up. We're getting a lot of tickets. We got all this going on. And then next tour, I'm just going to go ahead and call it the Hangover Tour, because we are going to be coming down from an amazing time, and then we're going to go back to some Penguin Mario looking tour, and we're going to be like, what's going on? And there could be people
right?
that quit the game. So with this fate of the game weighing on the tour that comes next, is this a real thing, or do you think people are going to quit the game, or how do you feel like people will meet this depression of a regular tour again?
I don't know. I'm becoming more and more diplomatic about all this stuff. I've gone so far as to say on air lately, I don't really think there's such thing as a filler tour anymore. I mean, if a filler tour is a savings tour, then that's the best thing you could hope for. And a filler tour oftentimes either has the Penguin Mario type driver that you could choose to go for and then have an advantage in the future, or it might have a new retro track. New retro tracks to me are always very exciting. And again, not to get too much into the survey results, but let's just say the fan base is rabid for the nostalgia of retro tracks, man. If they were to bring in, like, it's just, that is the thing they can constantly do every few tours to keep everyone engaged. If any of my friends hear, oh my God, Toad's Turnpike got added, they're going to log back in and play.
Wow. Okay.
Stuff like that. But I don't think, if there is a filler tour, it's just going to last one tour, and then there's going to be something awesome the next time. So it's just having the patience for it. And I do think that there's the fact that they didn't do a triple tour celebration.
Oh, yeah.
That was a big surprise to everyone. And to me, the biggest explanation for that is they're going to fit in something else between now and the holidays. They're going to do a fall celebration, or maybe they might do a 3-tour Halloweens. Something that we're not expecting, where that made them say, oh, well, let's just make anniversary 1 because this thing is about to happen next. Yeah. So yeah, I don't think the tour after anniversary should have that much pressure on it for people quitting the game or whatever. If it's a filler tour, then save those rubies, because a lot of people still want Bowser Santa or whatever's coming this holiday, and they'll be here before you know it.
I think a true filler tour would just be a tour that doesn't have any new tracks, or the RMX tracks that they piggyback off of an existing one, which is not fun, and they don't have any new items. Again, the only time I can really think about it being a filler tour was that rally tour of Bowser versus DK. There wasn't a lot of extra stuff going on there. I know that was really hit a lot of people hard where they liked that tour. I'm not a fan of rally tours or whatever, but there's always going to be something new, and it's true. There's always going to be something new, with every tour that comes out, whether it's an item or whether it's a course or whether it's Kart Pro or something that's going to keep your attention. And exactly as Sammy said, usually they're not going to be consecutive. They're just going to be, there. And because I know that the next tour starts October 6th, and then the next tour starts after that, October 20th. So I anticipate that October 20th to be the Halloween tour, because that'll go through the end of the month. So, we're going to have something that may not be exciting, but at the same time, this will be the first, we have anniversary right now, and then this will be the first really not monumental tour that has come after the update. So who knows what they have in store for that.
I think a new retro track will, what you see. Oh yeah, Expert Challenge is also.
No. So there's 21 days left. So that means that next tour, they always end the Expert Challenges with a versus
rally.
Tour.
With a rally.
We're saying Halloween is going to be a rally tour?
That's what everyone realized when they kicked off the new challenge cars, that it's going to end on Halloween and the rally tour at the same time. So that's why a lot of people think.
I quit.
Well, really?
It's quittable.
Why? Do you want a Halloween tour to be its own thing for some reason?
It doesn't need to be a rally tour.
But I mean, that's the schedule of what they're doing. That's the schedule of what they're doing.
The 6th through the 20th is the rally tour, and then 20th through November 3rd is going to be Halloween.
Well, we'll see.
That's the rally tour.
It usually ends after Expert Challenges end. So 21 days from...
I thought it was the last 2 weeks of Expert Challenges was the...
No, it expires right on the rally.
The beginning of.
So when the new challenge card comes out is when the rally tour happens.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then, there was that Halloween, all the Halloween characters Mario came from this illustration, official Nintendo illustration from years ago. It's been passed around the servers, but there's a Luigi werewolf in there. There's the Peach Halloween, the exact same design. So people are looking at Luigi werewolf. They're looking at this Daisy pumpkin and thinking, okay, if they do the Luigi vs. Daisy tour, which is the runner-ups from the previous ones, they could just do the Luigi vs. Daisy tour as a Halloween tour with those 2 Halloween alts. There's also a ghost Kamek in that illustration, just saying. And
I'm reaching. You're already asking for more Kamek characters.
No, I'm not.
In the game.
Please,
Wow.
I'm saying please no, because I don't have 450 rubies yet. But no, I think the Halloween, if Halloween or Rally, whatever it is, we got this tour next to fill in the gap. I think there'll be a new retro track. I think there'll be a new awesome retro track.
Friends and fans, Aussie Kart and Jeeves, what do you guys think about this tour, and how do you feel what will happen next? And is it going to be? I mean, how are you going to feel kind of walking out of this with, however many tickets you'll have, and the glory of 12% odd pipes and everything that comes with this tour, walking back to a filler tour?
I'm actually really excited. I love this. I love this anniversary tour. I love the all cities. It's just nice to play them again. But I am with Tabor because we just don't have enough cards. So I mean, it's just I'm so glad we got some more cards. But I was talking to some other people, and if we actually go to another filler tour, and my hope, and this is just a hope because God knows what's going to happen, is that with these new carts, they're going to start incorporating city tracks in regular tours. That would make filler tours a little bit more enjoyable, I think. So, and it would put them to some use and to some value into that. So, who knows? That's kind of, it's not an expectation, but I can kind of see it going that way. I mean, you see a lot of people going in for these carts, and I don't, it's pretty crazy.
So actually, Aussie Kart, you have a good question around this.
Yeah, cool. So I was just saying, what do we think is going to be the best way that Nintendo will integrate these city tracks moving forward? So kind of what Jeeves was leading on there, do we see from the kind of tours leading up and then this now all being cities with some city buffs for drivers like Kamek, is that where they're going to sprinkle these in, or what are our thoughts on that?
So yeah, to further kind of add some parameters, we have kind of 2 ends of the spectrum. We have what we've been having, which is every so often a new city tour will come in, and they've included a past similar city tour. Last tour in Sydney, we had Sydney 1 and 2, and then you have the end of the spectrum, which is this tour where we have all cities. Where on that spectrum do you foresee cities being integrated in year 3? Do you see them closer to what we've seen so far, which is occasionally we see a little double dip, or do we see something closer to a full city tour?
I have a theory on this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I don't think cities will be incorporated in normal tours from here on out. And my rationale for that is that...
Boo!
And
boo, yeah.
You can boo all you want. I don't care. But my rationale on that is that...
Vancouver send you a postcard. Yeah.
It's both of them. So we're going to go ahead and... I know that... So here's the thing, and I know this very well. There were 303 buffs on all these cities that we just had, and I don't think there's any room for them to continue to have these cities sprinkled in and continuing to put buffs on them because they're at full capacity right now.
Really?
I mean, everybody, all these cities are more than generous. As we all know, usually when a brand new course comes out, it's very stingy in terms of top shelves and which ones are available. And this New York Minute 4 is very easy to get a top shelf if you've been playing the game pretty regularly. So I don't think there's any more room for that. And the only thing that I see happening is that whenever a new city course comes out, then that will be a city tour. And there'll be only cities on these brand new cities that are introduced, and then after that, they're going to go back to the go back to the regular courses.
That'd be cool, as long as we get more cities. Jeez.
Right, but if we have a Cairo tour, it'll be only a city tour at that point, and only the cities will be on there. But then it'll go back to normal stuff after that.
I'd be done with that.
I think the counter to that, though, like with New York 4, and I mean, I haven't looked at this data obviously as much as you have. The drivers that they have on there aren't, I think, drivers that people invest in a lot. So it will be a quote whale problem, and I think that's what they might be trying to do.
Wow! Look at that!
Look at that!
Look at that! That's a good song.
No, but typically he did. But typically, whenever a new course is on there, there's usually only like 4 or 5 top shelf drivers, karts, and gliders. And I think New York Minute 4 is a little bit more generous with what they put on there. And there's some obscure ones for sure, but at the same time, it's. I think they were able to hand it out a little bit more than what they normally do.
Yeah, so I'm curious. Do you happen to know off the top of your computer there, like what the average number of drivers per track that aren't cities compared to the ones that are this tour for the cities here that we have access to? I'd be curious if it's higher or lower. My guess is it would still be slightly lower, but I don't know. You would probably have better access to that data.
I agree. There's plenty of courses that are not city tours that there's like Cheap Sheep Lagoon has so many different top shelves and all those, and that's going to skew the results because, I mean, the cities we don't see as much and they don't buff as much. So, I mean, there's none that comes close.
Yeah, I guess what my point is, like, the ceiling is still, like, being blown out every single tour on, like, how many drivers we have. So I don't think they're going to limit themselves. Yeah, it's cool that but a lot of work for those people like yourself who had to do all this updating all at once. But I don't know. To me, it's like, I would personally love to see somewhere exactly in the middle where we are seeing 50-50 cities and non-cities. I don't think that's going to be the case. Go ahead.
No, I'm not trying to interrupt you. I was just kind of raising my hand for the next thought.
Oh, okay. Well, I was pretty much done. I was just saying, I don't think it's going to be close to 50-50. I could see them throwing in a city here and there if it made sense. And I will say, though, the cities that I think that they will bring in new will be cities that we've already seen. Like, we'll see, I think we'll see Berlin Byways 1, which should have been, 2, before we see Cairo. I think we'll see, LA Labs 4 before we see, what was the,
Bangkok or Amsterdam
or something. Does that make sense? Yeah. Like, that's my thought process on it.
Well, that's what they did the past few months. Yeah.
And I think they're doing it to pace themselves. Like, there are a lot of cities, but to have a specific theme. My thought process is that, and I kind of mentioned this one little silly game that my son plays, this Looney Tunes game, but there are 7 ninja characters, and there are 7. It's actually really weird. Like, they have very similar. There's a pirate, and there's 7 pirates, and there's 7. So my guess is they're gonna come back and do Bowser Wedding or Bowser Tuxedo, and then they'll do Luigi Tuxedo, and then we're probably gonna have 3 or 4 pirates. I know we have Bowser, Junior Pirate. I think we'll get 2 or 3 more pirates, and before we get to really diving into brand new cities, we'll probably have another German related character that's maybe drinking out of a boot or something. I don't know, but that's the rotation I see is we're gonna keep seeing these cities, and they're going to keep giving us these alts similar to those cities before we ever get to a brand new city.
Wow.
Go ahead.
I would just love to see, I would just like to see the 3rd track in each cup of each was just a city track. So just, each tour, that each cup is the third track. These tracks are beautiful. Like, playing these tracks again, the devs have put so much effort into, like, you look around Paris, Berlin, Sydney, and, like, you look at, like, New York minute variants. Like, they came out for a tour, and they're not even back. So, like, they were made for a fortnight tour, and then they're just not returning. So, I don't know how long Nintendo thinks the life cycle of the game's going to be. Are they thinking it's a 5-6 year game if they're just not going to recycle them back in? But the work on these tracks is beautiful, and I'm sure sprinkle them back in instead of giving us another remix or whatever the case. But I think they keep still dangling them there. Like Berlin, how many times did we have Berlin back since the original Berlin tour? Did we have it? Is this the first time it's returned back?
I think so.
Right.
Yeah.
Tabor, maybe a good question for you, man.
Yeah.
I believe that's right. Yeah, I think so.
Like, big, beautiful track that would have taken a lot of time to develop, and it just seems like it's a long way between. Like, will we not see it for another year? So it's...
Yeah. Well, in Vancouver, the famous example of that, too. It was literally a year. And I don't know. I could see Nintendo in their Japanese kind of way saying, no, we save them for special, like it's a special occasion. We want that to be extra special when that comes around every 4 or 5 months. I could see them thinking that way. But it is weird that we didn't get another one in year 2. That we got more cities in year 1. But I guess they were working on the game for a year or 2 leading up to it, and that's when they were working on those. But what I was going to ask is, Tabor, on the buffs, like, I just took a glance at, because I did not look through all of the 300 buffs, but did they buff stuff onto city tracks that are not in this tour, or only city tracks that are in this tour? So, like, New York Minute 1, 2, 3, all of those New York Minutes, there were no buffs on those, for example.
Correct.
I mean,
they only buff what's currently in that tour.
Right, okay. And that's always the case. I never even picked up on that. I mean, it makes sense, I guess. But that does leave some room for them to bring back New York Minute 3 R, and they buff a new driver onto it, right? Is that theoretically?
Correct.
Yeah, on a similar vein, Antilev asked, big friend of Antilev, in this first question he's asked here on the podcast, we have 2 Nitro tracks in Mario Kart Tour. One with a winter theme, being Merry Mountain, and one with a spring theme, being Ninja Hideaways. If they continue this type of season-related design, what are your predictions for summer theme or autumn-themed Nitro courses? And I will say, if someone argues that the Ninja Hideaway is a springtime theme, even when they released a new glider, they call it the springtime glider, remember? And we were like, this is literally during a summertime tour. What are you talking about? So, like, it is a spring
and it had the cherry blossoms, which are associated directly with, like, late March.
Yep, good points. So what are your predictions for summer theme or autumn theme? Maybe we'll focus on autumn theme as we're coming up on... It's weird to be, like, in the middle of an anniversary tour. I mean, thinking about an autumn tour, thinking about what's coming next. But what are your thoughts on Nitro courses?
We already have an autumn thing, I would think. I know it's not a Nitro, but we already have Maple Treeway. That's kind of more of a fall type thing.
Yeah.
Is that considered? I thought that was
it's a Wii course. Yeah, it's not a Nitro, but it's.
But yeah, what Tabor's saying is it kind of checks off the autumn feeling. I don't see Ninja Highway and Merry Mountain's obviously Christmas, but I saw them more as like it's a Christmas track and a Ninja track rather than like a winter
seasonal.
And spring. And like I love the question. I absolutely one of the probably the best thing about year 2 for me was these Nitro tracks. I mean, no one was anticipating that they were designing entirely original tracks just for this game. And, Ninja Hideaway was like, it was incredible. And if they do more of those, I just love not knowing what they're going to come up with and being surprised with it, and it'll have some hook to it. It'll have some hook, and we don't know. I don't know. I'm just waiting to be surprised. I hope they do more of them.
Yeah, I can see that being even part of this next Hangover tour. If you think about it, like, hey, what would be cooler to come out of an anniversary into a Nitro track? Like, I think that would get everyone pretty hyped. Wow. Or this like Mushroom Gorge, or like as you were talking about, Sammy, like get these people re-engaged. kind of to like finish off that point about the Hangover Tour, I don't really believe that there'll be a lot of people that drop off. I mean, if you think about it, like just in our mindset, I remember we all are familiar with Abdullah. He dropped off in the Ninja Tour. We had, Go Shiny, which rest in peace. He dropped off right in this summer celebration. Like
he's not dead though.
He's dead.
Yeah, he's
From the Mario Kart
He's dead in Mario Kart Tour.
Okay.
A friend of mine quit yesterday. He texted me. He's like, "Dude, you can free up a spot in the friends list. I'm out right in the middle of anniversary."
And these are peaks. Yeah, these are peaks in the game that people are dropping out. Yeah. So I think that if people wanted to drop off, they would drop off. Actually, it's actually interesting. Maybe they're dropping off more during the hype because they're like, hey, if this is the hype, I don't know if I can keep doing this. You know what I mean?
And I know there's been a lot of positivity in our community about Anniversary and looking at it from that angle, but you just go over to my YouTube comments. I don't know about yours, man, but there are a lot of people that are like, that still feel, this is all we got for Anniversary. I'm done. Like every other gacha game is way more generous than this. I mean, that's a perspective just to keep in mind. We are defenders of the game, so we're going to look for the good. But I do think a lot of the other games that are similar are doing more.
Yeah, I will say most of our comments were about Bowser Santa or about Tabor's algorithm being the other piece. So I want to get your feedback, guys. What are your thoughts on the algorithm change? Are there any overreactions? What are your thoughts on how things moved up? We got a lot of non-Coinbox drivers in the top 10. We have a lot of new carts. We don't see Wild Black and Happy Ride. We got a lot of comments on those on this last rundown. What are your thoughts on the algorithm change?
Not the drivers part. I think we discussed previously. I still think it should be heavy Coinbox in the top 10. It's what everyone's using the most. Whether that's the good or bad of it. But at the same time, I do like that we are updating and looking at new ways to cut the data. And I will definitely say it was interesting to see some new things up there and some new things to maybe try and move investments into. But still, when it comes to drivers, I would still say the bulk of people are investing into Coinbox drivers because they are the drivers that you want to have, especially because, again, this tour, even being a city tour, the Coinbox amount of tracks with coverage is still, it's over 50%, as it usually is. And I still think it's too high. I'd like to see it sitting at around 50. But yeah, I think it's, again, that's the beauty of it. It's open for interpretation, it's open for discussion. And that's what gets the community going is some hot topics on changes to algorithm.
Great point. Others?
Yeah, so I think the top 10, I like the update to it. I think the way I usually view top 10 is more like either a confirmation or affirmation of like my investments up until that point. So I feel with the old algorithm, I felt a lot more like when it came out, I was always looking forward, okay, like how many of, like the top 5 do I have like a bunch of tickets on? And when I saw that I had, like 3 or 4, I was like, oh, okay, like I think I'm playing the game okay. Right?
Yeah.
I never really saw the top 10 as like, oh, okay, like this is the driver that I now need to start putting tickets on. I think it's kind of, you need to, I don't think that there's a way to be able to predict, right, what's going to boom, essentially. So, by having said that, with this new algorithm, I was watching the video this weekend, and I was like, oh man, like the top 5, I think I still have, like, I think 3 of them are still at level 1.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I guess I don't really, I guess it felt like more of like a check, like, like usually I feel like, okay, like I've been playing the game okay, like, things are kind of in line with what, this algorithm's saying. And I understand that the algorithm is like completely just made up of chat and talk and feedback and, it's always evolving. But I mean, I completely agree that Birdo Black should be the number 1 driver. Like, if you got her early and put her to 7 and like double or triple uncapped, like you have been riding the wave for the past 5 or 6 months. I didn't see it. Like, I remember when that pipe came out, like I scrunched my nose. I was like, are you kidding me? Like there is no way that I'm going to pull on this thing. Like this is absolute trash. And since then, like I've realized if you think that it's trash, it's going to be gold. You know,
exactly.
So Black Birdo, what was it, Pauline Rose,
the whole crew.
Peach, like all of these people that like
maybe that's the Nintendo play though. Maybe their Penguin Mario is just going to stay trash, but they've lulled everyone to a false sense of security.
Because they were watching our videos and we predicted that.
Having some people go, and then it'll just never jump up. So
that's a great point, though. I mean, it does. I think that speaks to the big change I thought was cool, and it does reframe how you should look at the list. Is how you cut down the ranks to the last 6 months. That I think did it. It's now no longer like here are the greatest drivers so far in the game, and now it's more like here is who is hot. Here is who is Nintendo is pushing right now, or in general this time. And I'm the same. I don't have half of these drivers, almost
half of them.
But it's not like I'm suffering in the game either.
Yeah, no. But this shows you that like if you did have all these people, then you've been crushing it. You know.
Exactly. Yeah.
No.
What does
good? Go ahead.
Sorry. So I know we got 4 people of the ER server, and I'm not a member of the ER, so I can't always see what's being talked about in there. But what's the consensus in the ER?
I'll let you guys answer.
I saw it. Yeah.
So this weekend there was I don't know if you guys saw very much of it, but there was some heated debate, I guess you could say.
I saw it.
Someone that was saying, you know, that the Birdo Black, like they only have like one unique course, and like it just doesn't make any sense. Like, why would you invest in this? And I mean, I can see from like the ER driver perspective where there's a lot of passionate players that have, you know, invested a lot of time and energy and money into the game, that Birdo Black probably isn't, you know, going to be like their clinch, you know, clutch player that they're always, you know, gravitating towards. But I know I've got some other friends that are on the other end of the spectrum that did pull for Black Birdo and put her at level 7 and 1400 base points from the get-go, and every single tour, like they only used 30 tickets on her, and they've been reaping the rewards from ranked, like just hand over fist, just super smart, super easy. And so I think, you know, there's and you know that was part of the discussion on the server, and it's I didn't really mean I didn't mean to rub anybody wrong or anything. I was really just trying to like bring a different point of view, I guess, in the game to the players. And I don't know that anybody really like changed their perspective or changed their opinion, but it was just kind of interesting over the weekend.
I think it was it was weird because you know, from that person's I was seeing kind of what was going on. You know, they were combining it with they have other drivers in their inventory that they have already with the coverage. So and you combine that with, you know, let's face it, it's a crap skill. That's why it's worthless to them. I can see on your point, if you don't have a high inventory of drivers, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's kind of like, in a way, it's kind of like the Great Black Sail. I mean, it's just got massive coverage, so everyone's going to go on it, no matter what the skill is. You know what I mean? And so you can kind of see it in both ways. Like I haven't really invested in it. I haven't needed it because I have the inventory, or I have the coverage for the others. But if I'm not pulling as much, I can kind of see how that's the number one. Right. And that's where I see what you're saying. But yeah,
there were so many times where I didn't have a top shelf driver, and I saw that Black Birdo there, and it's like just week after week, after week, after week.
And that, I mean, that's smart spending, is what it is.
Yeah, my opinion on it
ball.
is, I think Nintendo sees who people are. I've mentioned this a couple times, but sees who people are hesitant to put tickets on, and then they buff that person. And
for sure.
Like, hey, this person
the poll.
Like when this person is ranked, how hesitant are people to put tickets on it? And then they will continue to buff that item. Versus, because I think in some cases, many of us have a small stash, some larger, of tickets, and they say, when this thing hits, I'm throwing all my tickets on it. And then, and then they get like, oh, geez, Black Birdo, I'm not putting on tickets on that. I'm going to wait for this thing to have tickets, and I'm going to throw all my tickets on that. And so, I think there's been many times, though, where I've had, say, I've been in this case, and I've explained this kind of unique situation for me, is DK and SNES, who broke the top 10. He's been in ranked a lot, and I've been so hesitant to throw tickets on him. It's been like taking him up a level every time he's been in ranked, and now he's like level 6 because I've just been slightly hesitant to throw tickets on him. But he's just gotten to the point where I just have to throw tickets on him because he's just been very, very useful again and again. Same thing with Birdo Black. But I think you guys bring up a great point. Is for these drivers who have such awesome quantity of tracks, for somebody who doesn't have a lot of drivers, go ahead and throw tickets on it. But you have to understand, for a whale, they have 4 or 5 drivers, and there's always going to be another skill that trumps Bob-omb Cannon. So it's always in many cases where if I'm going to throw tickets on DKSNES or Black Birdo, it's going to be DKSNES because we prefer triple mushroom or triple bananas over that Bob-omb Cannon, which I think was another part that came up about the algorithm was the triple bananas. I think I heard a couple people say that they don't like that it's now skill number 5. How do you guys feel about triple bananas? Do you feel like it should be treated differently than the others? Should it be a giant banana light? How do you guys feel about how that was approached in the algorithm?
I think it's good. I think it should be where it is. Summer Tour was my first big crack at ACR Top 100, so I was pumping tickets into Daisy Swimwear just because it helped me for the cheap track that was in that tour. And I think I'm using 3 or 4 tracks this tour, and it's a great skill now. It seems to actually get a ton more hits than it did previously. I never hit reverse camera to see what's going on back there. Probably should occasionally to have a look. But it feels like it's a better skill, so it definitely... Was it just sitting in the pack with the rest before? So it was basically the top 4 skills, and then it was just in the bunch. It definitely should be the 5th skill, in my opinion. I think from there, the rest still sit together. Just on a side note, I wish triple mushroom was actually a better frenzy. It's just the same as a mushroom frenzy. It should be that thing should be going off, and then that could be a high skill for sure.
Yeah.
Just it's the same, so you no real benefit apart from getting a single triple mushroom. But yeah, on that sidetrack, giant banana, I think solid, and I think the investment into even the DK fans that have invested into the SNES version would be enjoying playing him even more now, which is great. So slight wins for the Donkey Kong community.
Oh yeah, they've all been saying that for a while on that, and I know it's paid off for them. I haven't taken much data myself from it, in terms of just seeing the numbers of action counts on runs with triple banana frenzies. But I'm assuming some people are pulling that, or maybe Tabor even looked at some of that when deciding to put it in. But I mean, just for anyone else listening that's new to the game or anything, I think just it bears repeating. I think Tabor would agree. The list is it's fun to freshen it up because we've had past models, and you can still refer to the past models just as well. But there's lots of resources you should be pulling from at all times, and this is one of them. We have this great Twitter account where I live that's these guys that do local weather, and they really break down what's going on the radars and all the different weather models that are coming in from different places. And with weather, there's multiple people always giving different models of what's going to happen, and you got to take them all and pull your own conclusions together. So yeah, just think of the freshness of what Tabor did to the algorithm as kind of a new lens on it of what's hot, and incorporate it into your own trackers and your own thoughts about what you can get with certain skills, and put it all together and do your best with it.
And I think that's one of the biggest reasons. That's one of the biggest reasons why I kind of like question why people get in a heated debate about my list or any list, because they're taking it about lists. They're taking it too. They do. They like debate, but they're just taking it too serious. I mean, it's not. I know it's not the like Sammy just said, or Tammy or whoever. It's not the. It's not the say all end all. It's just one resource out of a whole bunch. So I mean, if you don't like it, if you don't disagree with it, just move on to something else that
it's fun. It's far more fun to try different things in the algorithm and see what happens, and that's the interesting part of it.
Right.
So I wonder from this point moving forward, if when something breaks into the top 10, if that's the moment that you need to start investing in it, or if by that point it's already too late.
Right.
Well, I think
that's a really good question.
What'll be really interesting is, because we didn't track it this time since we were kind of starting fresh with this algorithm, but the next tour, whenever we track that data and then look at the biggest movers, the ones that have the biggest movers are the ones that are starting to really become hot. Even if they're not in the top 10, if they're moving the most in that list, then they're starting to work their way up. And so those are the ones that we really need to pinpoint and identify, because those are the ones that I think are the ones that are the breakout ones that you might need to invest in.
Yeah, I remember Painter Luigi was on that list, I think, maybe a month ago, and then now it's in the top. He's not, he's a top driver. So I think those mover and shakers are a great list to look at. Sometimes it's worth investing in those. I think all three of the gliders that are relatively new, like the Starry, Great Sail, the Fireflower, the Bullet Bill, 8-bit Bullet Bill, those were all on that movers and shakers about a month ago. And now look at them; they're all top 5 gliders. So, I think that's a really good place to look. But I mentioned in the videos, like, take a look at Tabor's website and take Tabor's spreadsheet and look at, if you think the CCV is the most valuable, look at that stat. Do your own analysis using the data.
Exactly, because yes, totally, good point. Because even the most recent 6 months of ranked, they could stop putting all of those tracks in the next 6 months. You know what I mean? Like, there's no guarantee that those are going to continue. It's always, the future's unknown.
It's a great feeling getting an early jump on an item, though. Like, pumped a heap of tickets into Jet Cruiser, and that's just been fun to ride through. And I think that's what people are doing with, I think was it the Silver King from
Frenzy
Fanboy himself.
That's the part I'm really enjoying about the game now is having an early crack at something, and then like Frenzy Fanboy said, it's in the top 10. I went early on this. It's great. Yeah, it is a whale problem, Sammy.
It's a whale problem. Okay. It's a whale. It's a whale blessing.
It's a luxury.
I know that
but on the same.
One of the things that there's a Discord member out there named Antilev, and he actually takes a spreadsheet. He takes all the skills out and then reassesses the rankings of all that, because he doesn't feel like the skills of the karts, drivers, and gliders really matter as much as they should. And I know this kind of goes on to Sammy's question that he asked. Nice little segue here.
Doing my job there. Thanks, I appreciate that.
You're welcome. So, Sammy, do you want to ask your question that you had posed?
Over in my chat, Borja and those guys and Carlos on his channel all the time are just saying, kart skill does not matter. Listen to me, guys. Kart skill does not matter. And assuming these guys have crunched the numbers on it, I get lost in the point system when it gets, because there's so many factors, and I ask my resources, my friends, and Jay and Borja and these guys and Tabor and you. But yeah, kart skill, I've been hearing that the points don't really have that much of an impact on the score. Maybe Frenzy Fanboy knows some about this too. What do you guys know about this, and what should our listeners know? Does anybody have an answer about this?
I'll let Frenzy Fanboy go first, unless you said, Jeez, was that you?
No,
I'll let you guys take the first crack at it. I've done some research, but I'll go ahead. I'll let you take a stab at it, Frenzy Fans.
Okay, so I haven't done like a thorough analysis, but every week we do like a ranked review, and we go over the points predictor calculator that we have linked in the description of all of our videos. and you put in like your loadout of your driver, cart, and glider, but then the thing you kind of have to listen for is the amount of actions that we predict that like your run is going to have, and then there's a bonus points per action, and the things that influence how many bonus points per action that you get are the level of the shelf of the glider first, because top shelf, once you get after 15 consecutive combos, you're getting 45 more points for every action that you do. And then after that, it's keeping combo, essentially. Every time you keep combo, then that it resets back to 0 points and then adds 3 for every single one. And the cart, once you get like the top shelf cart, it's like a 2x multiplier for the points, and then the skill of the cart, so like based on what level that the cart is actually at, there's like another like 1.1 or 1.15 or 1.2, 1.25 multiplier. But those are only multiplied to the base points of the item. So like a coin is only 5 points. So then you multiply the coin, and forgive me if I'm completely wrong on this, but I think it's 5 points, and then you multiply that by 2 if it's a top shelf cart, so it's 10, and then you multiply that by like 1.1 or 1.2. So it ends up being like 12 points total to start out with. So it's only like a 7-point increase that you can get per item versus the glider, which is 45 points. And then for drivers, it's the opportunity of getting frenzies more often. And frenzies, those are the actions, essentially, right?
Right.
So, kind of going back to the calculator, we don't really take into account or care whether or not you have like a top shelf cart, or whether that top shelf cart is at a high level or not. It's only going to make a difference in the end of like 58 bonus points per action versus 56 bonus points per action. And by the time, you use the calculator for a few tours, you kind of get an idea of what you get on like your normal and your reverse versus your like trick tracks. And if you have like a giant banana frenzy versus like a coin box, I'm usually either getting, 66 bonus points per action, or 58 or 46, just kind of depending on, like what the loadout is and stuff like that. So, I don't know. Kind of to what you're saying, Sammy. I don't know that, especially. So I just spent all that time talking about just like the position and the level of the cart, and I didn't say anything on what the skill level of the cart was, right? So you get like an extra percentage of points for, like mini turbo boost if you do that with a cart that has mini turbo boost. But all we're talking about is, maybe a dozen, 2 dozen, 3 dozen points at the end of a race, on the order of anywhere from 20,000 to 50,000 points.
All I know is that the only thing that I really care about with cart skill is that if it's a T or an RT track, I'm going to go with a jump boost cart, just because I feel like I'm going to get more points that way than anything else. After that, I don't really pay attention.
Yeah, and that's what I assumed. Like, I think the
60 bonus points per action. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I've assumed too. But the question is, at the end of the race, again, if you're getting 20,000 or 30,000 or 40,000 points, how many of those points were brought to you by that skill being there, and how consequential is it? So, what do you want to drop on us?
Yeah, so Jay, one of my good friends, helped me put together a presentation. Marco helped put together some slides, and it is unfinished. I actually just been pretty busy with growing this channel, with everything that's going on with work, and so it's probably about 85% done. I will start. I'll just go ahead and say, as you probably could tell from everything that Frenzy Fanboy said, the point system is very complex, and I don't think anyone has it. Even I know like a handful of people that like know it, backwards and forwards. Even they're like, I think this is how it works, because it is very, very complex. one of the main points is, you'll see at the very beginning of this the screen the base points, where you see the driver, the kart, glider, and that's a big part of that piece. But then there's the bonus points boost, and then there's bonus points, then there's boost points. It's very, very complex. Even the wording is very complex. But the main point is that the special skill, that base points for each skill, it's substantially high for like a Rocket Start Plus, where I think the base points is 80, the Slipstream is like 40, Dash Panel is 15, Jump Boost is 8, and Mini Turbo is 4. So when you think about it, though, you're going to have to get 10 Mini Turbos to get one Slipstream, or you're going to have to get 20 Mini Turbos to get equal to what you would automatically get for a Rocket Start Plus. And
that's why you've always pushed Rocket Start as a underappreciated.
I say it's underappreciated because I remember when I first started playing, everyone was like, "Oh, Rocket Start Plus is terrible."
Sure.
And everyone was like, "Everyone needs to be doing Mini Turbo Plus." And I was like, "The thing is like you're getting a higher quantity of Mini Turbo Plus, but the points aren't as you're not getting as many points as if you were to do some other skill."
Right.
So one thing though about the Mini Turbo Plus skill though is I think I saw on Reddit a little while ago, somebody actually did like a frame-by-frame analysis of how long your combo actually
That's what I was going to get to.
If you have...
because on the description of each card, it says about your time of the boost.
Yeah. And so if you're having trouble keeping combo, like around like a specific curve or a specific part, like of a straightaway of a certain course, I'd be willing to bet that you would have a higher percentage of keeping combo chance of doing it with a cart that had, like a Mini Turbo Plus, because,
right.
I mean, there are some times where, or, if it's after like a jump, there are some times where it just seems like it's forever. Like you can go a long time and still keep combo after you do a jump with, on a certain course, and it's probably having to do with the certain skill from the cart.
It'd be interesting a frame by frame, like just take a driver, goes off a jump bar, and one has jump boost, one has slipstream, and just put them side by side, exact frame by frame, and see when the combo drops. I mean, it might be so minuscule, but you never know. I mean, sometimes those minuscule fractions save your run.
Did the cart skill become less important so when we originally were in year one and we had level 6 max and no cap tickets, it was a bigger percentage of what might make up a score. But now, due to the scores having the ability of level 7, triple uncap, everyone up at 150 level, has it been because its amount hasn't increased?
I see what you're saying. Yeah, there's more other boosters.
There's more other things that are... So in the past, it might have made up a bigger percentage of your score. When year one in a ranked cup, getting 70,000 or 80,000 was huge. Now the scores are so much bigger due to level 7, uncapping, everyone at level 150. Has that totally changed the dynamic, and it hasn't moved with that, thus making it insignificant now? When you're talking about, like, if Studfit saying, Rocket gets you 80 points, and then you need to do 10 mini turbos or 8 mini turbos, whatever it might be. Great, you might do 12 mini turbos to outdo that, but in the scheme of your score, it's so insignificant that you should be using something with a bigger hitbox or something that drives better.
Yeah, and like Studfit's saying, dropping combo, not as big a deal, it turns out, in the grand scheme of things when you're getting up there in points.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I don't know if I apologize. I had to step away, but it's.
We figured out the whole point system, so you're on your own.
Very nice. Well, congratulations on that. But the main point though is the actions are capped at that 16th, and so anytime you're dropping combo, it's only equal to 360 points, which is. Again, every time, that's assuming you don't miss an action. I think that's really important to mention is, like, there's sometimes where we get hit by a blue shell and then we're just, like, wiggling around and, like, losing, like, what we would have normally gotten is, like, 5 actions. So take that into consideration versus, like, being a little too late to get your mini turbo and you just happen to miss that action. You don't have to feel like, if you already got, like, a coin box or something, don't feel like you have to restart the race just because you dropped the combo. It's insignificant in that respect, but I mean, ultimately, we're just, we're trying to get frenzies, and if you drop a combo, not the end of the world. I do know as I'm filling out that all cup ranking spreadsheet, if I do drop a combo, I can tell like the difference in the color between the action count and the amount that I could still gain on that track. So, it is what it is. The main point though is that this the point system is complex. I've even been intimidated to jump back into it because it's not even something. It's just so hairy that I even wonder if I can even explain it well. To be honest with you.
So that's one of the things that I really like about the points predictor calculator is the point system is complicated, but I'm using that whole big long equation in the calculator for you. So all you really have to do is pop in your loadout and then what action count like you want to shoot for, what you think like would warrant a good score, and then by listening to our videos we'll tell you what, if you don't drop combo on this specific track, you're probably looking at 58 bonus points per action. And they'll tell you, like, what score that you can probably get. And then, at that point, you take a look at all 3 races in ranked and see what points it predicts that you're going to get for the whole entire thing. And you can compare what your competition is. And at that point, you can be like, okay, well, I have some tickets to spend. If I put them on the driver in this one course, how many more points will that give me? For that same run, It might be 1,500 points. But you put it on a different driver, it might be 2,000 points. So that one ticket could be worth either 2,000 points to you or 1,500, right?
Yeah.
So
really good
the idea
point.
behind making the calculator, the whole idea behind making the calculator was to try and make this one part of the game that's super super complex, super frustrating at times, just to try and break it down in real easy levels. Like all you got to do is download the thing. You just pop in the numbers that you're seeing on the screen anyway. And then it gives you something to kind of shoot for. And then once you get it, you're like, okay, cool. Like I got that, and I can move on to the next race. And it also helps with ticket transactions. Like I don't know how many times we see on Reddit and even on Discord, people are like, should I use this level 6 single uncapped or a level 5 double uncapped? It's like, there's resources out there that can totally help you. And so.
I know that probably the community that's in Discords or that's on Reddit and using these resources is probably only like a small fraction of the people playing this game. But these people you have an advantage. Even people that are watching this episode, we typically have 2,000, 3,000 people watching, assuming everyone's an individual watcher. Those are like, out of the, I think it says the game was downloaded 977 times. 977,000 times. Like nearly 1 million people are playing this game, and if only 2,000, 3,000 people are watching this, you guys are the ones using these resources. You're the ones that are having an advantage over your competition. So if you haven't used Frenzy Fan Guys, I'm sorry, I keep messing up your name. Frenzy Fanboys resource or the ER All Cup ranking, check them out because they're only going to help you have a better competition in these ranked or All Cup ranking or whatever you're running at. Tabor, you asked a question about kart skills and glider skills. You want to take it away?
Yeah, I was just wondering, kind of piggybacking off of Sammy's question, if kart skills don't matter for sure, then should those be part of the algorithm that I use? Right now, kart skills are worth 10% of the overall value, and glider skills are worth 15%. And and just for the viewers out there, let's just try to be clear. Do you think there's a distinction between looking at kart skills and glider skills? Is one more important than the other?
Okay, yeah. I mean, a lot of people talk about this stuff all the time. A lot of strong opinions, especially with glider skills. Just put it over there. I mean, the idea that now a coin glider is no longer considered good because when you're going with coin boxers for the top scores, that coin could roll in the slot instead of a coin box. So you want something with less chance of a coin, actually. You want a banana or a shell or whatever. And if going back to cards, if it is like, if you're getting scores of the 30,000 range, let's say on some big course, and the skill does only affect it by 100 or 200 points, that's a lot lower percentage than 10 or 15%. So like, I think it probably should, and we're talking minuscule differences here when we're analyzing all this data. At the end of the day, you're gonna go with a run that is the biggest run you got with the best thing you had, no matter what the skill is. Like, so I don't know how strongly it should be factored in. I think it should probably be reassessed. Now, gliders is a little trickier, because you have to take each glider item and look at all those scenarios, and then it's kind of a subjective opinion. Because coin frenzies are still great, because you're not always going to be driving with coin boxers. In fact, when you don't have coin boxers, you want coin frenzies. Now, the data miners say that they've proven through what they've found that having a coin glider does not increase your chance of a coin frenzy, only increases your chance of pulling coins, but that does not correlate to coin frenzy. I'm skeptical, but I think that's just psychological, it probably is. It seems like you get more coin frenzies with a coin glider, but they say you can't. And I'm just reporting that in. So
I've been using on one of the New York Minute 4s, I have a Fair Flyer at level 6. So I've been using Fair Flyer quite regularly. I think it's on this ranked track. I think it's New York Minute 4 regular. And so, and it's honestly not uncommon for me to get a Super Horn Frenzy having...
Well, I just fell to second place, sorry. I just fell to second place.
What?
Oh my God. For those listening at home, we have like an hour and a half left before ranked in, so here I go.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Breaking news.
Away. Yeah, seriously.
I did a quick auto run just to see if it refreshed, and it did.
Now you have me scared.
Everyone check the scores.
This week, because of my travel schedule, we are recording this earlier. You're hopefully watching this early, but this is Tuesday night. This is crunch time. So, Sammy, I don't want you to lose rank, so go ahead and get your
I can
crazy
play
runs.
on top.
Okay. With that being
I
said...
want to hear the rest of the Fair Flyer story.
Yeah.
Sorry, Saber.
No, it's good. I'm used to being interrupted on this. It's all good.
It's spirited banter, you know it.
All right, hey, Tammy, go ahead.
Tammy. Saber.
Which Tammy?
So no, it's just. I mean, I think I was almost at my point. It's just like I get Super Horn Frenzies quite often. What's that?
Yeah, you were talking about getting Super Horn Frenzy. I was
putting off. Horn Frenzy's often with the horn glider.
I mean, it seems to be. I mean, whether it's true or not, that it has no indication of getting frenzies or not. It sure seems like it is. At least whenever I use certain items on gliders.
I agree.
Yeah,
but my point there was like if you're with a driver with a crap skill, you do want coins,
right?
Yeah, I'm not too worried about it, but I do think it is much more than the skill. Do you think it should be included in the algorithm? Yes or no? What do you think, Frenzy fans, Aussie Kart, Jeeves?
I think it's fair.
Scrap it.
I mean, I would
scrap it. Nice.
There's at least carts.
Yeah, carts.
Yes.
I have learned over the last 6 months, I've learned the cart skill doesn't really matter at all. With the gliders, I think there's still some substance there. Not a lot, but some.
Yeah.
I'm finding myself leaning more towards a cart that handles well. Like, still to this, like, if I had the choice between the Purple Bunny or the Jet Cruiser, that Purple Bunny is a dream to drive. That is so easy to
really?
turbo.
I like it too, yeah. But
Jet Cruiser and even Comet's Zoom Broom, like they're not as easy to drive. Like they're a little bit harder to drive. Personal opinion, might cop something in the comments for that, but I would still say if it's equal level, then I'm going with something that either bigger hitbox or handles well, opposed to I do not even look at the card skill now.
And this is including your own Jet Cruiser.
Yes, yeah,
wow.
yeah. But as I said, same level. So if they're both level 7, I'm going with what handles better. If something's level 6, I'm going to use the math and go the right way. But if it's equal, then that's how I would look at it. But yeah, cart skill. No, I don't even know what Jet Cruiser's cart skill is. I don't even know what any skill is. Just because I think it is so insignificant to the scoring now compared to year 1, and that would be the point on that.
Well, I just remember when specifically Ghost Shiny. You know, he would say like, "Oh, don't use this card even if it's a higher level because of this skill." And now I think early on we didn't know all the facts, and we know much more now. So it's I never want to criticize Ghost Shiny for saying that, but I think that it wasn't just him either. It was just kind of a thought process of like, oh, this skill, this has so many things. So yeah, I think we're just trying to clear the air for those who may still be thinking that it does have a lot of value. I think it just putting it, comparing them, and just stating the maybe not so obvious. Just to kind of shift gears, I think Frenzy fans, you asked a really good question just about ticket usage strategies, and I think this could be a really good way to kind of take this conversation into strategy, especially as we now have all these tickets from this anniversary tour between Premium Challenge Plus and then the Token Shop, etc. Go ahead and take your question away.
Yeah, so I think I was kind of thinking of this question just as I've been reflecting on how I've played the game over the past year and a half. And how my strategy has changed. And so I was just curious to hear, from everyone on the panel, like, has your ticket strategy evolved at all, or are you pretty much spending tickets like the same way that you did from day one? So I kind of broke up into like 3 different categories. You can spend tickets on items that you think are like aesthetically cool, or that, you're excited to pull. Or you might just spend tickets only on items that are just in ranked courses, or you could spend tickets on things that are heavily used in ACR. So like the things that are used a lot throughout, the entire tour. Like I know that ever since I've been focusing on ACR, especially like top 100, I've gone into ticket hoarding mode where I'll go sometimes weeks, if not months, in ranked, not spending a single ticket, because I want to have 32, 40 tickets, like just level up tickets.
Are you starting another run of saving?
Yeah, so when the next Bowser badge comes out, maybe around Halloween, something like that, I really, really want that top 100 Bowser badge. So yeah, like this week in ranked, I'm getting 3rd, and I've got, I think 16 driver tickets and like 9 kart tickets and I think like 10 glider tickets. They're just sitting there, and I've got double digits on like my points on cap tickets, and it's just because like it's just the coolest thing ever. Like getting Kamek, Silver King, and the Dream Glider, like day one from level 1. Not uncapped to level 7 triple uncapped, and just completely just dominating the whole entire tour. Like that gets me excited.
You feel powerful, right?
But I remember when I first started playing the game, I was like, I didn't know how to spend tickets really, And then when I kind of figured out that ranked was important, I was like, okay, well, I'm only going to be spending on ranked, and I think the thing that I get the most enjoyment out of the game now is when all 3 of the categories are satisfied for any particular like week or tour, where it's aesthetically pleasing to me, like the Silver King, Kamek, you're super excited about the item. It's way useful in ranked, and then it completely dominates in ACR. Like that's like the triple crown.
Trifecta,
right?
Yeah. Yep. Oh yeah.
So,
but that doesn't happen very often.
For me, at least, as often as tickets have been, available to me up until the Kamek tour, it was, playing the long game of several tours without spending a ticket at all. So I'm just curious, I'm curious to hear Tabor's take on tickets and how he spends.
Fair flyer all day, every day. Take it up level 7.
I was so surprised when you said you have Fair Flyer level 6. I want to hear the story behind that. Like, is that an aesthetic thing? Or was it really that valuable in ranked?
That was all coverage, baby.
That was I had no idea what I was doing early on thing.
Okay.
That's one that I was...
Tabor.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was it time to interrupt? Go ahead.
Tammy at it again.
Oh, brutal.
I was trying to connect with you and relate to you, but never mind.
You were quiet the whole time playing your game, and then I start talking, and you chime in.
He's got
Why don't we settle this with
a Tadar?
I had. Never mind.
Why don't we settle this with a 10 pull? Come on, guys. You know you want to.
Oh.
No,
go.
Frenzy fanboys. So it was very early on in the game. During the New York tour, the first tour of the game, I pulled. I got Fair Flyer, which I didn't know what a high end was at that point because it was so early on. You didn't know what you got. And there was one of these challenges that was like, take an item to level 3 and you get this many rubies and things like that. So I was like, hey, I got this high-end Fair Flyer. Let me just go ahead and do it. Super Horn, what's that? I don't know. It doesn't matter. So I put it on there and, and then I just kept getting some like freebies from Gold Pass gift or from this or from that. And it just kind of kept going up. And so I eventually did that. But no, in terms of ticket strategy, I'm kind of the same with you, but I don't look at the trifecta. I just look at the twofecta, which is just, it's got to be worth it for me. And typically I don't put tickets on items unless they're used in more than one place on a ranked course, because I try to use them as efficiently as I can. So that way I know that I don't, waste tickets and I can use them in kind of a double jeopardy type thing. But I'm kind of a hoarder as well. I don't really spend tickets unless I need to. And even before, it was all about, if I'm not in first place in ranked, I need to spend tickets until I get first place in ranked. And I've kind of pulled back from that because I know that's, I'm at level 69 right now, trying to get back up to level 70. And it's a struggle because I always get a lot of people in my rank that are much more have higher loadouts than me, and so I've kind of been like, hey, if I'm top 3 or top 4, and I don't stress about it like I used to. If I only get 10 or 15 rubies during a ranked, I'm not gonna worry about it. It's just gonna happen.
Fair enough.
Yeah. To answer the question for myself, I've typically been a short stacker when it came to how many tickets I would hold on to. It'd be like, hey, I can take this to 7, do it. I do think I think over this summer I've kind of changed or evolved my perspective in that it's like, hey, this thing's going to be in a special pipe in like 2 or 3 months. I'm sure of it. So I'm just not going to take it to 7. I'll just let the game take it to 7 if I don't need to. But if I absolutely believe in something, especially if it's on my top, because I do the top 10, I feel like I have to eat the food that I cook. So I do put stuff in, like if it sits on the top 10. I'm like, I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to be the guy that's like, I'm going all. And so I like triple and capped my Black Great Sale like 2 tours ago because it's dominant. So in those cases, like I'm not going to hold back. I'll go in all on that. But right now, I mean, I'm sitting on I think 14 or 15 driver tickets. I don't think I've had that many ever. But I think once I start saving, it's kind of like when you're a kid. You're like, you save like $2-3, and then you're like, oh, this is kind of fun. I'm gonna keep saving some more money. And it's kind of been fun to kind of collect these. And so, like, I think at ranked, I have probably the lowest score I've ever. I don't think I've scored under 100. Well, there was that one tour where I think I let Hero win, but other than that, I don't think I scored under 100 in like nearly a year. So I think I'm at 92 right now, or 95, or something just ridiculously. And I don't care. I have tickets, and I could level up. I don't know what the Star Spangled Flyer. I'm like, I'm not going to put tickets on that. I'm not going to put tickets on. There's a couple items like that where I'm just like, I don't believe in it. I'm going to hold off on it. I've been a little bit more willing to save now, but also I think my persistence in being the pit crew chief has lessened. I haven't felt the need necessarily to show off.
Jeeves,
yeah,
Jeeves coming in out of nowhere with tickets. But
so speaking of,
I'm not saying
eating your dinner,
no one's talking.
It's your.
Well, I was going to say, like,
right
with
now
my
is at
spending
level
on
3
tickets, I have been.
Studfit.
What was that?
Your Black Burrow right now is level 3 and 800. Are you gonna eat your dinner?
That's good.
It's,
That's
it's
a really
number
good
one
point.
in your top 10 list.
I do have the tickets. I've been saving it for Bounce, though. I cannot wait for Bounce to, a.k.a. Yoshiru. I can't wait for him to be on a top track where I want to use him. So to answer your question, I do kind of like want an item where they check 2 of the boxes. They just need to check that third. Or maybe they check at least, the box where they're in ranked and they would help me for. I don't think they need to do it for me for All Cup ranking. I have enough other stuff to pull it off. But anytime that something is in like has like a nice buff on a track that's in ranked, I'm thinking like a new track. It's obviously a part of ranked a number of times because it gets all these different tracks. It's got the RT and the T and. So oftentimes it does help me out at least twice in a tour. So, the moment Bounce has that, I'm going in for it. Blackbirdo, man, I just don't for a whale, Blackbirdo does not make sense to take to level 7. I think if I was somewhere in Tabor's shoes, maybe I would be willing to invest in it more. For me, the coverage it has, it's always going to get out trumped by literally anything else, and I have so many other things that I'm just not going to be in a situation where I need to ticket her. So I probably this is one where I'm going to probably have the reheated lasagna from the other night, not eat what I just cooked.
Snack back putty pop.
There you go. Aussie, have you taken Bounce to 7?
No, Bounce is still sitting at 1, but I have. From day one, and I still play this way, I don't have tickets saved ever. So and it's helped me out the last few weeks because with my ticket stash, I took Daisy Swimwear to 6, I took Peach Happy to 6, I took Mario Baseball to 5. Wow. All 3 of those, because I knew at some stage in the coming 4 to 6 weeks, they were going to get their time, and they've all had their time for me. So, in ranked at some stage. So... That's just my strategy, how I've gone at it. I won't change that. It bit me in the behind in the Kamek Tour because I didn't have enough tickets to put into him, and everyone took him to 7. I had him sitting at 5 for most of the tour, and it cost me top 100. So there was an instance where I probably should have learnt from that, and like anyone should teach the kids that are listening that saving is good. But it's just not my style in Mario Kart. If I want to get something, I've got 5 tickets that have come in. Yesterday, I've pumped 5 tickets into Bowser Santa to take him to 7. I'm not sitting on those 5. I'm not waiting for something. I want a chance. So that's personal strategy. It's probably not a great strategy, but it's been my day one strategy. I like to spend, baby. So let's throw those tickets at whatever is coming. But, I feel like Jeeves would be a bit similar. Jeeves loves throwing a ticket on a new item, so surely you're in a similar boat, Jeeves. You're not sitting on a big ticket stash.
You know what? This is actually the most tickets I've had so far. I've been, my daily six I've actually picked up this tour. I actually like to have enough so I can, like, for the next coin boxer that come, that I can take it right to 7. So I'm just about there. And now I've actually been really diligent with carts and gliders because, with 180 carts, Tabor?
180.
Yeah.
You got it.
Okay. So, and, I think from what I hear from others, the high-end tickets for carts and gliders don't come as often as drivers, so...
Well, carts do. Gliders are...
I don't get any. Mainly it's just drivers. I've had some...
So notoriously, gliders are rare. Many people say carts and drivers are very similar. I've done my data. Yeah. I actually get more drivers than carts, but it's not significant. It's not anywhere close to, that gap between gliders and everything else. But yeah, I think my personal experience with Jeeves, I agree with you that I get more drivers than anything else. But usually I want that. But not right now. It's like with as many carts we just got in this pipe. I really, really want cart tickets. I would love to be able to take this cream or, take the pink one to level 7. I'm not going to pull on it to 7,
There are so many good carts out there. So, Yeah, I've just whenever I get those, I've just been hanging on to them. So I've got a pretty decent stash, not like not like double digits, but usually those are at 0 all the time. And so I think I have I got 6 glider and then 5 or 6 carts. So I feel pretty good about that, but I don't really have a desire to go in on anything. I think the tough part are the point caps, because those are the big boys for me. So this will be after this week. I will actually have double-digit point cap tickets on both drivers and carts, so I can triple cap something. And again, I don't even know if I will. I've been going back and forth and doing that, but is the actual need there? Not yet. So I'm going to give a shout out to ER Curtis. This guy saves a ton. He showed me his. I don't know if you've seen it. He saves a ton, and he has been my role model. So a big shout out to him on saving.
Love Curtis,
and so I'm trying to live by that. It's hard. It's really hard. I mean, Aussie Kart,
Well, I looked at Curtis' situation. He's got a lot of stuff at 7, so I guess the saving does become a little bit easier when you do have a lot of stuff at 7.
I haven't checked his inventory.
Well,
just going back quickly to the 7 cards, I just would love to be in that meeting where Nintendo, the devs, have gone, how many cards are we going this tour? And some guys gone 3, and some guys gone, that's not enough.
This one goes to 7.
Yeah.
And then everyone's got up and cheered, and the managers signed off on that and gone, let's get these colours, let's get a cream, let's get a pink, let's get a green.
Sky blue.
Let's add Mario Kart on 4 of the fins, but not the other 3.
Yeah.
Like, let's do all these things and just really throw it out there. Just ludicrous. Like, I'm going in next week to pull for these cards. I'm not going more than a 1 drain. I refuse to do it now. I can't do it.
Right.
And then all the whale goes, look, I've got all the cards. I'm so amazing.
Yeah. And none of them will probably be used. They're just going to sit there.
Yeah.
Like the Ice Stows are coming back around for its commemorative for the second time. And
yeah, I did get a lot of flack for putting Ice Dozer as a stud, and so I will clear the air on that. It is not a stud currently, but we are also coming out of August, September, going into October. So I do expect its value to go up. It's more of a hunch. I like the Dozers. I'm a sucker. I get it, but yeah, good point there. The Ice Dozer. I should probably put a little asterisk on there. That's a hunch, but I probably would go ahead and get that commemorative item over the Sunset Clouds, or what was the other commemorative item that I made a dud. But
what's the awesome hot rod? Is that with the cool wheels? The hot rod, has that done anything yet? I haven't even seen that popping up. Is it not the Jade? What's the one with the cool
dark
wheels?
hot rod.
Dark. Yeah, was that doing anything
It'll
yet?
be in the top 10. Don't you worry. Don't even doubt the dark.
Can you dress up as a dark hot rod if it doesn't get there? Kind of like Cars, the movie, like you'd be a dark hot rod.
Oh man, I need to stop making bets. I'll tell you that. That is for sure. No, I mean solid points there. I think there was one other question I was going to ask as we're on this topic, and that's kind of. With the introduction of new supers, drivers, and carts evolved in the game, are brought into the game, how has that evolved? So I think we were, what was it, 6-9 months without a new super, whether it be a cart or a driver or anything. Now we have new super carts and drivers brought in, it seems like every other month or so. It's occasionally a glider, but... how have the introduction of the supers changed the game? Has it changed it all for you guys? And is it a non-whale evolution, or how do you guys feel about the new supers?
I don't mind them. I think especially for free to play, I think it's a great idea. Like you look at, is it next week ranked? If you take whatever variation of Birdo is now out, Blue. Is it Blue? Yeah, Blue Birdo. If you take it to 6, then you get yourself a top shelf driver that you might not otherwise have. I think it's just another option. I think it's a good idea. I would like maybe a new super that's not just a reskin colour, because that's all they've done so far is just a different colour on a Yoshi or a Birdo or a Shy Guy. So maybe, something like a Monty Mole, like something in that vein that they don't want to do another high end, I think would be pretty cool. But for now, it's just, throw another colour on an existing. But I think it is good more supers. We'll wait and see but that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I think that LA tour, once that the was it a blue Yoshi that came out, or had a blue Yoshi cart
at the Dash Ring? Yeah, Dash.
Oh yeah, the blue cart too. I actually needed that free ranked, and I went all in on that, and it helped a lot. So, yeah, I think they're good.
Tabor, you're the only free to lose person here. What are your thoughts on the supers that were introduced?
No, I think it's a good addition to the game to be able to have something. I'm actually one of the people that are okay if there's not any new normals, because I don't know if even regular people are going to be using normals right now. They're going to stick with supers or whatever. Plus, even if you did have like a top level 7 triple capped normal, it doesn't hold a candle to what a super would do, even just single capped or double capped or whatever. So there's not much going on there. I do want to make sure that I speak for the trees here and everybody else who's not represented with all of you guys here, but there are a number of people who will not be getting Blue Birdo this week because they are not in the top 3. So keep that in mind. There's a lot of little people out there that are still struggling, myself included. I just checked and I...
Probably going to be Sammy, right? Sammy, you're now in 4th place, I think is what I'm hearing. Do you have more sleepers? How are you doing over there?
I mean... Well, I want to let Tabor finish his thought before I switch.
No, interrupting is how we do it here.
No, it's okay.
Okay. Sammy hasn't gotten any new high score.
No,
go ahead, Tabor.
Let him talk. I want to interrupt him.
Let's get
how the tables have turned.
No, I was in 3rd earlier today, and I just checked, and I dropped down to 4th. So I'll
no,
need
you didn't.
Yeah, so once we're done here, I'll have an hour to grind to try to get 1,000 points to get back up to 3rd. So we'll see.
Now let me ask
you
something. Would it help you if you pulled one of these brand new carts on air?
No, I'm not missing a top shelf driver, but I will do that for you, Studfit.
Ooh,
I'm happy. Honestly, I was thinking about which pipe I wanted to pull on live on Kart Talk, and I was all about the special City Pipe Week 2, because that one's a lot more intriguing to me than all the other ones, but we're recording on Tuesday night, so unfortunately that's not available here. Now, if we keep talking for another 2 hours and 15 minutes, it will be available, and then I can pull it. So there you go.
Maybe Studfit can edit it in later. Yeah. It'll be like, here's one he prepared later.
Yeah, for
otherwise.
Sure. No, I think, again, just to summarize, I was just checking my list on here, and some of the most recent super drivers, karts, and gliders are actually at the top of my my most valuable supers list. Right now I have Green Shy Guy is actually the number 1, and I mentioned this during the rundown, but the Green Shy Guy has 18 top shelf courses, which is pretty amazing for a super driver. I mean, Peachette only has 13 right now. I mean, it's going crazy. Blue Yoshi is 2nd, and Blue Cooper Free Running is 3rd, and those are 3 of the more recent super drivers that we've gotten.
Yep.
And then Mushroom Glider is actually 2nd, which I think is our newest super glider that we've had. And then Cucumber and Super 1 and Blue Royale are the top 3 for carts. So, I mean, a lot of newbies that are showing up there to be most valuable. And a lot of that is just because the newer ones end up being ranked a little bit more than what some of the older ones were. But still, they're carrying their weight.
Yeah, it's a nice wrinkle they threw in, and just to agree with Tabor on this, speaking for the all kinds of players thing and the whale problems, like, it's not just getting Blue Birdo, but I mean, to take him to level 6, how many tickets do you have to have sitting around? I still need. I bought 4 in my shop today, and I need 6 more, and I'll have to do it, at some point midweek or later in the week, probably. But I mean, a lot of normal players do not have that many super tickets lying around. You only have that many super tickets lying around if your daily selects are completely maxed and you have 100,000 coins, 150,000 coins, 200,000, 300,000 coins, and you're just buying every ticket. I can't afford to buy super tickets still because I always need that 12,000 and then another 12,000, another 12,000. I've always had like 36,000 or whatever. And if I start buying supers, then the high-end tickets go away. So it's a delicate thing, and it's pretty tricky that they threw that twist in there. I really like it.
Yeah, I will say every tour I'm kind of going up in something like 50,000 coins, and so I'm up to like 400,000 coins, and I'm not buying I'm not buying really any super tickets at all. I just started buying super tickets. Prior to that, I wasn't buying any.
You should.
I think now I've been mainly just buying a couple extra carts. The drivers I'm not going to buy because I'm probably not going to use the skill. But the carts, I mean, for kind of going back to what we were talking about earlier, the carts are always the lowest level for me out of between the carts, drivers, and gliders. So the carts.
It's because there's 180 carts to spread those tickets around.
There's so many. It's true. It's true.
No, I mean, so I'm buying. Chris asked this question. Will there come a point where you start scooping up extra normal or super tickets from your shop in preparation potentially for level 8? Or I'm inserting this part. What about these, new super drivers and carts here? Should you start to stash them? I've been just holding on to them until I need them, and now I'm up to like 30 or 40 of these super tickets, and I'm like, maybe I should just drop it. But I also remember when level 7 came out, and I was like, oh man, I wish I would have saved these instead of trying to take this, dark cucumber or whatever to level 6 or 7 just for my own, crafting giggles. You know what I mean? So from that perspective, how do you guys approach scooping and stashing and to some of the other whales out there? Or even I wouldn't even know frenzy.
Sorry, but you guys just have to see the differential I just gained.
Oh no,
72 more points.
72.
Now, if you would have used a different cart, if you would have used...
Ooh, it might have come in.
Well, no, but actually, to jump back to something when I was forbidden from speaking, engaging in friendly banter, about how we evolved our ticket spending, I'm on New York Minute with a level 5 taxi, so same thing as Tabor from the original tour, and then a yellow level 3 fair flyer. Those are at that level because of my decisions I made in the first 6 months of the game to win ranked and get into the next tour with the maximum amount of rubies. And it's amazing how many times that comes back to help me, just deciding week after week to basically invest in ranked, because if I'm not buying rubies, generally like tons and tons of rubies, ranked is the best way to get rubies, those 20 extra rubies from first to second, and that it all adds up over time. And so that's always how I've done it. And now those items are coming in like right now to try to get me to win ranked at this very moment. 2 years later, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's nuts. Obviously, it's a slightly different New York Minute being 4 versus 1 or whatever. But I get your point. Yeah, certainly fair enough.
Oh, yeah, man. Track aside, just it's my best cart.
Yeah, and that's kind of to G's point. If he takes it up and he's got stuff at level 7, it's going to help him eventually when it's brought back in. I think the fair flyer that's tough. I mean, it helps out some of those players that have been doing it for a while and getting away with it. But Knight Rosso asked, do you think Nintendo will ever add a normal driver kart glider? What are your thoughts on normals? Are we capped out?
Surely.
I think so.
Yeah,
I mean, never
now,
never say never, but I don't see it happening.
Tabor wants it added, I'm sure about that. And then we've actually...
They should have done it. Oh, there was a time when they should have done it, and it would have been great. It would have stretched everything out. It's like when they made the Hobbit trilogy, and they made it as a trilogy because they realized that on that basis they should have made Lord of the Rings each movie a trilogy. It's like, why would you do it now? You should have done it then to stretch everything way out, before level 7 and all that stuff.
Super great point. In fact, I know when I sent out all these questions, you guys were like, I don't think we're going to get through it all. We're on our last question, guys. So we're rounding out the episode of the Kart Talk. But Hero of the Skies 26 asks, this is a 2-part question. What are your thoughts on Premium Challenge Plus? First off, and then will they continue every tour? as we're heading into year 3, do you think that's going to change? What are your thoughts on the Premium Challenge Plus?
Now, we've covered it in previous episodes. I mean, it's a no-brainer for them to include them, and we don't know why they're only including them at random times. And that's
but they won't.
All
It won't become regular.
Yeah.
It won't become regular.
It's a whale automatic. But how do you guys feel about? I mean, Sammy, is that something you get, or I know on the rundown we try to talk about it and say like, yeah, this one's worth getting versus this, but I'm kind of curious to get your viewpoint.
Just considering the set of tickets, the $15 for the Premium Plus the $5 for the Premium, it's $20. It's the same as the 45 Ruby pack, but you get 30 rubies total for the two things instead of 45. So 15 rubies less. You get a whole set of high-end tickets, and you get the uncaps. To me, that's worth it.
Yeah,
I agree with you there. All right, so as we're rounding out the final probably 10 minutes or so of
Don't forget the 10 poll.
I have another question that I asked, but I don't think you included it. It's
okay. Well, go ahead and help yourself.
I asked it after you had sent all this. And I had mentioned this in the rundown, but do you guys feel like that there is, and I have some data to kind of back this up, but do you feel like that they kind of they understand, I think Nintendo understands that Coinbox is like king. Coinbox is really, if you've got a Coinbox driver, you're going to go all in on that, and you're going to try to get Coinbox frenzies and try to get as many, coins as you can to help your points. But do you feel like that they're nerfing the Coinbox skill based on the top number of top shelves that each Coinbox driver has? Because it's not near as high as some of these other skills that they've given. For instance, I did a quick average of all of the different high-end drivers per skill. Right now, the top skill with the highest average, and we're only talking about high ends, the top skill with the highest number of top shelves average is actually Super Bell. Super Bell only has obviously 2 drivers. And those 2 drivers, Cat Toad and Cat Peach, have 27 and 28 top shelf courses. So it's averaging 27.5. And then it goes Giant Banana, which is kind of an outlier because there's only 1. But Mario Sunshine has 26. And then Triple Mushroom has 6 drivers, and that averages 24. And you would have to go all the way down to the Coinbox is ranked 16th out of the 21 skills in terms of the average top shelf.
Okay.
Wow.
In terms of average top shelf, Coinbox has an average of 19.9. All of the Coinbox drivers, and there's 12 of them, they averaged 19.9 in terms of the number of top shelf things. So do you feel like they kind of restrict Coinbox and don't expand their number of top shelves as high as some of the other skills because of how amazing that skill is?
Yeah, I would think. Yeah, you'd have to think so, because if soon as that percentage of, like when you're setting up for ACR for the week and looking through it, and it's the first thing I do to see how many Coinbox, if that gets up to 27, 28 tracks of the 36, it's just too many. And then you just, I was going to say earlier, like using like a dash ring, for instance, is a fun grind to use as something different. Otherwise, if it's just Coinbox every single track, I think Nintendo would realize that surely, and then maybe they only ever wanted to give 20 top shelf tracks, and now they've gone, well, let's just keep buffing a Blackbirdo or something along those lines to try and dangle that carrot to spend some tickets there instead of just doing the automatic. I'm hoping that's the way they continue, because I just think it'll be too much saturation, even though as Stud would say it is a Coinbox game. But it would be nice to have some balance there for sure.
Yeah, it would be nice to have some balance. It'd be nice to win $1 million. You know, things would be great. I agree with you. You know, my thought process is that they would. Wait, hey, this is kids are watching this. So I do think though that they would rather give a buff to a Coinbox driver with another Coinbox driver than add that Coinbox driver to a non-Coinbox track. I do think that they do that intentionally, and they do try to make us like other skills and go out of their way to do so in order for us to pull on pipes. It really comes down for them. They want people to use their rubies, and they don't want people saying, I'm only going to pull for Coinbox drivers they want Tabor pulling all the time like he is on this series. So I really to kind of hit home with your point. I do think Coinbox drivers are nerfed in that respect, but I think it's only because they realize that they've created a monster. They've created this Coinbox is king, and the peasants need to eat. So a lot of analogies in this episode, but I think you ask a really, really fair question. But at the same point in time, keep investing in Coinbox. It's going to get you a long way. If you want to take a risk because you like a Black Birdo or it gives you coverage, go for it too. There's no right or wrong way to play this game, but Coinbox is the right answer all the time. If you had to have one great answer there. So, talking about Tabor pulling, Tabor, do you want to pull it? You don't have to pull. So I'm not going to force you, but we have this Tabor 10 pull segment that it's yours for the taking.
Yep.
On behalf of the viewers, I am pressuring you, so you're definitely going to pull.
So yeah, we're going to have a pull-off, right?
It won't take much pressure. This is something I was going to plan to do anyway. I just was hoping it'd be pipe 2, but I will do it. I'm going to end up doing it on the... I'll do it on the special pipe. I'm not really interested in the drivers, although I don't have Mario Racing, and I saw Sammy's video, and props to him for being able to pull Mario Racing, because that was not guaranteed, so really, really crazy luck there.
Nice.
But I don't have any of the carts, though. Obviously, I don't have any of the new Mark IIs, and I don't have the OG Mark II either, which is in that as well. So, without further ado...
Is anybody going to pull with you?
I don't know. Does anybody want to pull?
I'll pull with you.
Is anyone pulling with them?
Anybody want to?
I'll pull with you.
I've been thinking
I don't
about
even
it.
have 45 I don't even have 45 rubies currently.
Oh, you don't?
Why does it have...
I thought you were challenging because you were going to... Oh, here we go.
You got it?
Frenzy
Yeah.
Frenzy
Fanboy.
Fanboy.
Tabor.
Okay.
Frenzy Fanboy. There we go.
What's your coin?
You guys ready?
What's your ruby situation, Frenzy Fanboy?
He's fine.
I have enough.
I have enough.
You know that, like, Frenzy Fanboy, he's not like a true whale.
730.
You know that, right, Sammy? I know we've kind of lumped him because he's part of ER, but he's probably around.
People can define
obese
themselves
dolphin.
however they want. People can define themselves however they want.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
Let's do it. Let's
let's
do
go for
it,
it.
Jack.
By the way, Frenzy
You ready?
Fanboy, what's your situation? Are you looking for anything specific? Just last shed out there.
Yeah, so the only thing that I do have in here is Waluigi, Bus Driver, and Pauline. Everything else... So I really do want the red and gold... what is it? The
Classic.
Is that called the classic?
Is it the classic V-Dasher?
I like it.
Now, just because
Red
I said it,
skins.
Mario heard me, and he's like, okay, I'm not going to give him that.
Yeah,
That's the way it always
how it
goes.
works.
Shouldn't have said it.
That's
last.
how it works.
Well, we know what 3 things I'm going to get. If I get anything, it's probably going to be greens. So,
All right,
Good luck,
guys.
gents.
Good
That's
luck.
my luck. All right, you ready?
do I want to do it together?
Yeah.
Hit it.
Okay, 3,
3,
2, 1.
So that
Did
brings
I
up.
push it? There we go.
Nope.
Nope.
And, yep, go.
Fire. Let's do it.
It's fired up.
Yeah,
Hey!
Oh, we both got it.
Golden gold,
Fanboy.
baby.
Both got it.
Double gold.
Both got gold.
And you guys
So,
are
Maybe you
both
go
50, both 50 of 50, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Did anyone
mine was
already?
50 out of 50. All right, you go first. Do your
Okay.
first
Nice.
poll, Frizzy Fanboy.
I'll do one and the other.
I'll be the last, so you get to go first.
Okay, Koopa Troopa.
Oh,
400
good
coins.
stuff.
Great start.
Shoot.
Oh, I thought I heard a star. Oh, I hear a star.
There you go.
Okay.
Nice.
Tootie patootie.
Very cute.
Multiplayer queen.
Congratulations, Frenzy Fanboy.
One step
I
closer
feel
to
bad
having
that Tabor's going to get Pauline. I feel bad.
I'm going to Pauline, probably.
Hey, ranked.
Okay.
Wendy.
Here we go, Tabe. Rooting for you.
Ooh, the
Oh, dude.
Ooh.
You got the pink.
Got
That's
it.
its favorite.
That's
I love
what
it.
Jeeves liked, right? He was all about pink.
Yeah,
Can I
all
tell
the
a story
studs
about that
love it.
one really quick?
Nice pull.
Sure.
And I swore I was going to keep this myself, but since Tabor got this, he'll appreciate this more. I went through 1,000 rubies just to get that.
What?
So
hey,
you
put
can
that
hate
sign
on
up.
me.
Put that sign up, Sammy.
Sammy, put the sign up. What
sign
are you
up.
doing? Whale problems.
Right.
Yeah. That's
So
a Jeeves problem.
you can hate on me for the next 2 weeks.
Well, you can hate me because I got it in 3 pulls.
There we go. Keep rolling.
I'm glad
Frenzy,
you
you're up
pulled
next.
tonight. I'm glad you pulled before it went
I'll
away.
see Frenzy's video.
All right, here we go, Frenzy fanboy. Let's see if you get a double.
Nope. Oh.
Bullet blaster. Womp womp.
Womp womp.
Okay.
Block 8.
This would be quality listening for the Spotify
I was gonna say
listeners.
Spotify as well.
just,
narrator.
just a bunch
Careful.
of grown men going, ooh.
Ooh, ah.
Ah.
Oh, double pig, baby.
That's just Jeeves.
This is just a rub it in
Mario
Jeeves'
heard you.
face.
Mario, Jeeves, just for you.
Just
Nice.
for Jeeves.
That's amazing. A double.
The double for Frenzy.
Oh, it's so
Ice
good.
Pro. Okay.
And I just realized
I feel a
I'm
double
super
for
close to
Tabor
my
as well.
mic, so I may have blown out some people's eardrums.
No,
I
you're good.
apologize.
We might have too. We were all shocked to see pink on pink from the all-male cast.
That's right.
Cookie Clown.
Nice.
Okay.
The clown.
Alright.
Super.
Can't believe it.
That's crazy.
There it is. Oh.
Look at that.
Yeah, Tay-Tay.
Pink and classic.
Wow. Tabor.
Oh, so-
Hey, we both have
Oh,
2 high ends,
fire.
though. We both have 2 high ends so far.
Oh,
That's pretty sweet.
Wow.
That's so
I'm
good.
so jealous.
I'm so
I can't
glad you
tell guys
pulled.
right now.
Wow.
I can't watch
Pink
it.
and
That's a
classic.
sick looking
Like
card.
they'll mean anything in the future. Wow. Okay.
But still.
I know.
So
But
that's one of the
still,
I'll
aesthetics.
take
Go
one.
in,
awesome.
go ahead and
That
rank
one's
it.
freaking
Hey,
rad.
2 high ends for 45 rubies. You can't beat that.
You cannot.
Maybe one more. Maybe one more.
Yeah, you never don't doubt yourself. Don't doubt the Tabor luck.
Birthday
Oh.
girl.
It's pink.
Birthday girl.
Birthday girl.
Birthday girl.
For those listening.
For the Spotify's.
For the Spotify listeners.
Ludwig for
Ludwig.
Ludwig.
Ludwig. Roy boy.
Roy.
Oh, roll.
Rowan.
Roy.
It's Roy boy. I
Yep.
thought Roy was a girl. Okay.
Shy guy.
Shy guy. All right. Is this the last one?
Has got. Oh. Oh.
Oh, you called it, Aussie card.
You caught it. I
You
see.
called it.
Sorry, Tay-Tay.
Triple.
I'll take a
Triple.
triple.
Bro.
Triple
I'll take a
high
triple.
end. Very nice pull.
Unbelievable.
Is that it?
Well, there you have it, guys. I think that's it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice one, guys. Nice one.
Congratulations.
Very well done.
Double and a triple. Oh, man, oh, man. Well, great job,
Man,
guys. I'm
nice.
glad you guys
Nice.
pulled. That was
That was
phenomenal.
fun.
That was awesome. Kudos to you guys for getting one of the 7 brand cards.
Just quickly, Stud. I think the fans would like to see Tabor and Sammy have a virtual hug before this finishes. There was a lot of animosity this Kart Tour, and no one wants to see these two fighting. So we'd like, yeah, we go.
There we go. Kiss and
what
make
we-
up.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, I don't have a awesome story to share with you guys about fans connecting, but if you do have one, feel free to share it in the comments. So I thought what we'd do is we would each go around and share what our favorite part of year 2 of Mario Kart Tour was. I'll also go ahead and start while you guys are thinking, because this was a kind of kill some time type of question. Because we are so close to 2 hours, I don't want to be under 2 hours. I want to give the fans what they really want, which is full 2 hours. For me, it has to be the Ninja Tour. It has to be everything that came with that, between the Shy Guy Ninja, King Bob-omb Gold, the special pipes, and I think on top of that, just introduced to this 3-tour celebration. I think what they did in that tour is a cookie cutter, perfect, change for what games can do to revive a game and to keep it push the pedal down to the metal and get people re-energized in a game. I think it just was phenomenal across the board. So looking back at what we covered in year 2, that was my favorite moment.
Yeah, for me, year 2 and my biggest difference from year 1 was just finding the community, like finding the Discord community and finding this. Like year 1, playing isolated in a dark room on my own because I didn't have anyone else that played the game, and to find that level of just people that share the interest and share the game has been my most favourite part of the game, and definitely revived it further for me to enjoy seeing, people pull on pipes or getting on a podcast and chatting about Kart for 2 hours and I should be working on a Tuesday. These things are really cool, right? And I think that's what I really enjoyed about the game. And I'm hoping from things like Sammy's survey that community engagement has an impact. Like 500 plus diehard players have spent time to fill out a survey, and hopefully Nintendo listen, and some of those things come into the game and show that the power of the community and power of the people can make some change for a game to get it going into years 3, 4, 5. So yeah, that'd be it for me.
I love it. Frenzy fanboy.
So I think kind of along the lines of Aussie Kart, I think it's not really a favorite event, but I think just Frenzy Fangirl and myself kind of putting ourselves out there and, trying to do something that we didn't think we would be doing at the beginning of the year, starting a channel and producing content. And, we really did it with the intent of trying to help other people out, with their ranked, these calculators and stuff that I was using for a while, and thought, let's see if we can share it with others. But then it just kind of snowballed. Like, we're just meeting tons of cool people, and just the whole experience of the game is now amplified by just all of the interaction that we have on our channel, like all the commenters and, people on Reddit that just love our content and, love to chat with us about, what's going on. And I just feel like, just to echo Aussie Kart, there's just a ton of really cool people out there. And like, I had no idea that, by the end of this year, I was going to be on a podcast and doing fantasy football talking
which
about
you're winning, by the way. You are you and Kareem are the only 2 undefeated teams, 3-0.
3-0 so far, yeah.
Congratulations so far. We might as well just stop playing.
Complete beginner's luck, because it's the first fantasy football thing we've ever done, and we lucked out because we got the first overall pick of the entire draft, and we literally Googled what's the best one to get in the fantasy football.
Did you get McCaffrey? Did you get Christian McCaffrey? Oh, you're in a tough spot then, at least for the next couple weeks. Well, good luck there. Jeeves, tell us about your favorite moment in year 2.
I'd have to kind of go with you. I think the Ninja Tour was really kind of just really surprising on that, and no, I don't think anyone saw it coming. It's a beautiful track. Shy Guy Ninjas, he's new boomerang, high end boomerang. That's like the one. I mean, I like those nitro tracks that you talk about. Like, I'm really curious to see what they're going to pull up next. And I hope they listen to that, because I think they listen to us, because there's a lot of excitement around those. So I hope they keep those up. Other than that, yeah, the community is great. I've been more involved over this year. Meeting you guys, Sammy, unfortunately Tabor, but
Oh wow.
1,000 rubies, huh? 1,000 rubies, huh? Crazy.
Tabor just made it look easy getting the pink
I know.
Dasher. He and Frenzy Fanboy.
And Frenzy Fanboy.
Well, Tabor, I think you got called out. What's your favorite moment from year 2?
Well, it's not Jeeves. No, I'm just joking. No, I echo what everybody said. Community is just amazing. It's when I joined Discord, and I only joined Discord because of Mario Kart Tour, I did it because Abdallah actually invited me on to his server, and then I started looking around to other places, and it's pretty amazing to meet as people who are as into a silly kids mobile game as I am. So it's really neat. But honestly, the best things about year 2, 3 2-syllable words: rundown, Kart Talk, Studfit.
In that order, right? Yeah. No, hey, I appreciate that too.
Seriously, I mean, this is just an amazing way to be able to spend the time talking about a silly game that honestly means nothing at the end of the day, but we make it mean something, and just being able to kind of nerd out with a bunch of fellow players. So it's a really really good time.
Amen. I appreciate you saying that, Tabor. I've really enjoyed this community as well, and now I feel like I should take back my answer and change it to the community.
Sorry, Stud.
No,
sorry.
Too bad. Ninja Tour, cool. Ninja Tour, awesome. Good job.
Good answer.
No, I mean, looking back, I did not want to have a Discord because it looked like just a lot of work, and I really talked to Sam. He's like, "Don't get a Discord. It's gonna." But it's members. It's members only, so it's like just like my good friends, and it's a lot of fun to be able to have a fantasy football team with you guys, do multiplayer Mondays with you guys, to have this talk with you. It's been such a surprise, and I've just now kind of come out to my friends, like letting them know I have this channel, and they're like they don't fully understand, but I can say I don't care. I love you guys, and it all started from a guy named Sammy D. He started his channel. And I was like, hey, you know what? That looks like a lot of fun. And next thing you know, here we are. So, Sammy, what was your favorite part from year 2?
Yeah, I mean, all the tours, all the memories, the community, and everything. It's hard, obviously, to overlook the Kamek thing for me, and that's obviously like the moment. It was the peak of everything in my game and my journey with it. But I mean, maybe I'll throw in a little sentimental story to end, like you have done at previous times. And it's very small, but it's these little things that I love about the game and the community is that, I don't know if you saw my video, but this week in Ranked, I had different opponents, and one day randomly, one of the names had changed to You Can Win Sammy. And I looked back and looked at like the badge, and I found that it was previously a username, Matt. Now, usually if I have someone in my rank that's watching this channel or on Discord, they'll let me know. But this person never posted a YouTube comment. They never were on Discord. It's just someone out there watching the channel and saw himself in my list and changed the name to You Can Win Sammy. Then I changed my name to You Rock Matt as a little hat tip back to him, assuming that he would see that in my next video. And after that, he changes his name to after I pass his score and take first. He changes it to GL next week. So good game. Next week, yeah. Good luck next week. And now I've changed it to Thanks, Matt. And so we've had this whole conversation through our usernames. I have no idea who this person even is. So Matt, if you're watching, there's little moments. It's fun to have those connections and camaraderie.
Oh, and that might explain why I accidentally deleted you as a friend this past week. I didn't know who you were. That's an awesome story. So
okay,
cool.
I won't add you back. I have lots of people waiting.
That's a great point. I don't want to have to take up spots from your much more glorious members. But thank you guys all for joining us this evening. I can't wait for more episodes. Every time it's like, what could we possibly not talk about that we haven't talked about already? And we find it. We have awesome conversations. We joke about things, and then of course we let Tabor pull. So thank you for the redemption pull, Tabor. Thanks for putting your rubies on the line. It worked out really well for you.
Really well.
So congratulations.
Yeah, for sure.
So, all right, guys, say goodbye. Thank you guys all for joining us. Until next time, may the frenzy luck be with you, or as frenzy fanboys would say, may the frenzy luck be ever in your favor.
No, the frenzies be forever.
Say it, frenzy
Take
boy.
us home, frenzy fanboy.
You want to finish?
Take us home.
May the frenzies be forever in your favor.
See you guys.
See you guys.
See ya.
Bye.
Thanks. We'll see you guys.